everybody, and welcome to our AKG Design Studio, Design Sips and Tips. And today we're here with realtor and a friend and a runner, Kelly Roth. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Anna.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Always a
And
pleasure.
thank you, thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself as we start.
Well, so I'm a realtor, and I was thinking about before this started that it's kind of unique. I'm a realtor, and you've been a client, and you're an interior designer, and I've been your client. And I met Anna through our running group, the Happy Hour Runners. And some of you watching this might not know, but Anna is a training for an Ironman triathlete, and I've seen the workouts they do. And if you're not impressed with her already, you should be even more impressed with them. The workouts they do, they're crazy. They're just crazy.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell me a little bit more about yourself. So you work in the Virginia
Northern
area.
Virginia. I
Uh-huh.
work in Northern Virginia, real estate, and been doing it for about 8 years. And mostly, well, 100% of my business is just from referral for people I've known or they've referred me. So it's always fun because if a friend refers me, I probably like who they referred, and I really enjoy it. And even now, during this COVID lockdown, real estate is open. I guess we're considered essential. People need houses to live in. So it's been busy in a different way, but still, people are looking and houses are selling, surprisingly. So
So that's awesome. So I was just about to ask you how the market. So how do you work around the fact that maybe people don't want to go into somebody's home or people don't want to let other people into their house, but at the same time they're kind of like already in the mix of needing to move.
Right. Well, the way I've been approaching it with my clients is more of a staged approach than maybe we used to do in the before this.
Mhm.
So instead of saying, "Sure, I'll meet you at the house, let me set up a showing," I say, "Why don't you go drive by the house once? Like make sure you like the setting or the lot or whatever, because sometimes people can drive up to a place and they just aren't feeling it. So we skip that step. So they go first. And then sometimes I'll arrange for the current uh, tenant or the person, the seller, to give them a Facebook tour, a Skype tour. So we
Mhm.
arrange that, and both the sellers and the buyers appreciate that, just less contact, and they're usually very happy to do it. And they'll cruise around and get a tour of the house that way. And then if they still like it and think they might want to purchase it, then we arrange to go into the house. So you're getting a lot more people. I mean, showings, of course, are drastically down um, because of this situation. I mean, no one wants to get germs, so mask up and gloves, and a lot of times, if I bring my clients through, only I touch things. If it's a listing, only I would be there and open the doors and drawers, whatever they want,
Right.
and then they just kind of walk through. So we're adapting, and we're doing things, and while you know there's fewer sellers maybe now, but there's also fewer buyers. So like the sellers and buyers are going in unison. So the good news for that is, for sellers anyways, that prices are remaining, they're holding, at least in our area,
Well,
because
that's
it's
good.
not a recession type thing where just the prices drop and the buyers are high, because everyone's like they're moving in unison. It's remaining flat. So
And my understanding is that as long as the county is open and recording deeds, you can continue working, right? Because that's really the biggest thing. Because mortgage, we know our friend Chrissy is doing remote notary. So pretty much everything else can be done remotely these days. The
mhm.
only thing that I understand that it might be a snag is if for some reason the county closes and you can't register the deed at the end of the day.
Yeah, and some closings, like for buyers, who are mortgaging it, their purchase, that has to be done with some sense of in person. But if you're the seller just receiving money, now they're doing that electronically as well, which they didn't used to.
Well, fantastic. So I think we're all innovating and learning and expanding.
Everyone's working together and trying to make it work and continue on. So
Absolutely.
It's good.
Cool. So tell me what you're sipping today. We kind of like jumped right into
we jumped right in.
We want to talk about what we're sipping.
Well, I am sipping Citizen Cider, and it's a ginger infused cider called the Dirty Mare.
All right.
And more importantly, I am sipping it out of my Properties and Pints cup, which is our little video blog that we've been neglecting a little bit lately, but we still love it. So, and it's really good, actually.
Where is that cider coming from?
It's out of New York State.
Oh, New York State. Okay. Well, hopefully it's safe.
Cheers to New York. I'm glad you're over the hump.
Cheers to New York. So I am local again. Where is it? Okay. So here it is. Oh, okay. So this is the Pink Boots Brew. It was just released today.
Yeah.
And it is it's a combination of a lot of female brewers in the DC metro area. Every year they get together under their Pink Boot umbrella and they create, all of them create one mixture together and then they sell it in the different breweries. So it's
a collaboration.
It's a collaboration and it's usually to celebrate Women's International Women's Day.
Yeah.
And it's part of the DC chapter. So and this is a pale ale with hibiscus. So you guys get to hear me open it. I have not tasted it yet, but I tasted something similar with hibiscus at the Three Bears in DC, and it was fantastic. So, this is really good. This is really good.
Can you taste the hibiscus?
I think you can more smell it, but it's a very light pale ale. So really, really good. So find your brewer, your local brewer that is part of the Reds Boot Society. Many of the local microbreweries and breweries in the area are part of it, and they should have that can and ready to go curbside for you. So cheers, Kelly.
Wait, I was going to your side of the screen.
There you go. We managed to do it. Kind of like the TikTok thing, right? When they do, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know how they do that. My daughter is all about TikTok. So we are going to talk a little bit about today about, maybe we'll start with things that people can do while they're home, but they can prep their homes and get things organized, especially now when you have to show things through video. What are some of the things that are really important for the sellers to do? Because even if things are coming back to normal tomorrow, which we know is going to take a little time, I still think that the power of video is going to be pretty important as far as showing your homes. People will want to, because people will want to definitely do a lot of their homework ahead of time online before they're going into your house. So tell us, what are the key points that people are looking at? And I'll say, hi, Michelle. Thank you for joining us today.
So I think, after this experience, it'll probably be even more video dependent because it was already video, photograph and video dependent because everyone's looking online. So sometimes I'll have stagers come through and through a listing I have, and they'll say, do all of this just for the pictures and videos. Then you can kind of put it back. So you want it to look great in the pictures and videos. And now they have the 3D videos and that'll do the layouts and everything as well. But the obvious things are, don't have shelves chock-a-block full have them, 3 items or a third full. Same with, I mean, you don't see inside closets and shelves, and cupboards in the listing videos and photographs, but super tidy, less clutter, less furniture, fewer things on the walls. You don't want to have a blank canvas so much because that's boring. You want it to feel warm still, but you also want it blank enough that the buyers can picture themselves there
Right.
and their interests and tastes. So
there's a lot of things that they can do while they're home, right? So
things like I've been dying to talk to you because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Is I mean, almost without exception, if I'm bringing buyers through a house on a showing and they open a cupboard and there's like an alpha storage system in there, they are impressed. And they'll talk about that place, like, remember that place with those cool closet systems? Because, and I think I've been thinking about it because I've been spending a lot of time at home now. Everyone has this quest to be like ultra organized. And if you're not that personality to begin with, you kind of need those assists, right?
right.
So when you go, and even now, like say going through kitchens, because I know you like specialize in kitchens. When clients are going through a kitchen, every age group and every, dollar group, they still are impressed by that soft closed drawers in the kitchen. That's
Right.
old technology-ish, right?
Yes. Yeah. If your cabinets don't have right. If your cabinets don't have soft close on their drawers and the doors, like it really
like a dinosaur. It can be this fabulous kitchen, like everything about it could be gorgeous, and someone will come in and kind of open a drawer and like lightly close it, and if it slams, they're like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, everything else is so great about this kitchen.
And we all spend so much more time. Obviously, we're all cooped up in our homes right now. So even I found myself that I had to reorganize a lot of my stuff, just because I also, like everybody else, and went and bought food. Usually, so usually I don't really cook that much. I'm busy. I'm a business owner. I'm a triathlete. I'm a stage mom. Like there's a lot going on. And so my daughter is laughing now, and she said, like, I know you're trying to make up for like 2 years you didn't cook anything, but now it's like getting a little bit out of hand. And now with everybody's being home, really we tried, like tonight we ordered out, but we tried to do it maybe once a week. We're kind of like we're trying just to eat once a week out. Andy gets Andy, my husband, he's getting a break from the dishes, and I get a break from cooking. But like everybody else, most of the time and this is our lifestyle. So that's one of the things that we work with our client. Our lifestyle is that we, on a regular basis, we eat out a lot or we ordered in, and we really love to have fresh food. So I usually go to the store every 2-3 days. With this current situation, we try to shop. Like today we went out, so today was the day that we're like, we have enough food for the whole week and we don't have to go out. So because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen in 2 days. So we really are trying to minimize our footprint. So that totally changed the storage needs that I needed to have in my house. So what's happening in your house?
So same. I mean, we eat in a lot, but most of the time we eat in anyway. Definitely we go out,
right,
once or twice a week, but usually like once a week, if that. But so but I usually go to the store like that day. I'm out and about and I'm like, what do we want to have? And I'll grab, again, like you, fresh things. So fresh veggies and fruit, and maybe get, whatever Jim feels like grilling, or, what do we, oh, I feel kind of like blah, let's have a big salad. So it's more like what we're in the mood for than shopping for a week at a time. So
Right.
then this happens and you're like, okay, they want us to try to shop for more at a time and not go out all the time. So you come back with all this food. I mean, this is funny. I sent Jim to the store. I go, just I don't know. We're supposed to have things, get some things for dinner. He went to the store, which is not a regular occurrence for him. And literally he came back with so much meat. All meat.
Yes.
And I was like, did you get any fruits or veggies or no, just meat. So our freezer, we've been set for meat and we have still not gone through it. But so I had to go back the next day and get some frozen veggies and then also get some, fresh vegetables and stuff. But it was but so then you have, okay, our freezer's full. And then maybe we should get some things like that aren't perishable, right? Later if I'm planning that far ahead. So pastas and used kind of reorganize those shelves in the pantry and for things like that.
Right. So did it make you think ahead of, ooh, excuse me, drinking beer? Probably not the best. Yeah, especially very fresh beer. So, so does that make you evaluate your storage needs for the long run? So is your pantry size is still uh, enough for what you're going to need? Did you had to go into your garage? Do you feel like you might need to have like another freezer in the garage if you don't have another one to store more food and stuff in there? Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, I have an old fridge in the garage that we use for like beverages.
oh, okay, all right. So
Old,
there is a secondary refrigerator in the house that you can overflow.
right. So, but I don't even know how good the temperature is in it. So we only keep drinks in it. But it did make me look at my pantry because I was there putting stuff in there and there wasn't room. And I'm like, why do I, on the bottom shelf, why do I even have all this stuff? I don't even use it. So it's more like I have this pantry with space. So I filled it, right? Which is like human nature. So I did kind of cull out a few things and then I moved some things down there and made room for what I needed. So it kind of was a good combination of, okay, I need this storage, but not for what I was storing in there.
Right. And that's a great idea also now because we know that the food pantry needs food. So if you have stuff in your pantry that you're not going to eat, that you bought because 2 years ago you thought that you're going to have this fabulous thing for Thanksgiving and then you kind of gave up on it. And, people with younger kids, I know that my daughter, for a while, she's gung ho on some kind of crackers and then she'll never eat them again. And now I'm stuck with all that. So that's a really good time now to make that space by taking all those stuff out, donate it to your local food pantry, and helping others. So yeah, so for me, it definitely made me realize that I want to reorganize my kitchen as far as where I'm putting stuff. Suddenly there's a whole lot of stuff that showed up that I'm not really used to. So it's important. And there's a lot of things that you can do after market. Obviously, if you do want to start, and a lot of people, we're spending a lot of time in our kitchens right now, and you realize what you love and what you don't like about it. That's
Yeah.
one of the things that a lot of times when I work with new buyers, a lot of times, unless the kitchen is absolutely horrific, I really do want them to move into the house and kind of get the feel for the space and then realize what is wrong, unless it's really falling apart and coming down and like, listen, it needs to be gutted and needs to be done. People don't realize how the space is going to work. People buy the house, they're really excited about the kitchen, and then they kind of start working in the kitchen, and then they realize, oh, that refrigerator is way too far, or I don't really have enough countertop space between the stove and the sink, or I want to have a space for my kids to get their own snacks in the morning, or it really depends on your lifestyle and how you're actually cooking and functioning. So I really love giving people a little bit of that time to move in, unless it's like, you came to one of my job sites before, and you guys saw the before picture. The kitchen had an 18-inch stove, no dishwasher, and really tiny little thing that one person could stand in there. So really, when she moved in, it was definitely okay. This is need to be gutted and
Right
needs to
now,
be right now, because we already know what's the problems in there. So this is a really good time for people to do that evaluation of what do they don't like about their kitchens, what do they don't like about the layout of the house, what they don't like also about bathrooms, where we are spending way more time in our bathrooms, right?
yeah.
Somebody was laughing about my comment yesterday that now that you cooked and pooped, and like, what do you do now? Because really, we don't really spend that much time in those facilities most of our days, because we're at work, the kids are at work, so
We
it's
don't have time
usually
to think about them
so now
because
it's
we're
really,
racing out to the next thing. And that's one good thing about this is it's definitely slowed people down to be living a little more at a sane pace, I feel like,
right.
So you
And
notice things like that instead of just like, ah. But I did notice cooking more, like in
mhm,
the kitchen, that I have a drawer that's all spices and I
okay,
put them sideways. I always wanted one of those ones, like I'm sure you built into kitchen where you pull it out and there's
what
all,
out, right.
I don't have one of those. But and then I also was noticing one of my frustrations over this time has been, is there any good way to store the lids to your pans and pots?
So for this is I think it's, if you have a big drawer or drawer that is big enough or at least deep enough.
Right.
This is why I really love using drawers in the kitchen.
Yes.
So
This
uh,
low cupboards make me, I have several of those and they do kind of make me crazy.
yeah, so it just, otherwise it's like I have them in my lazy Susan, and I have that little stand, and I can tell you that even with the stand, it's still, everything is everywhere because nobody ever puts it back. But if you have a drawer that is, even for lids, it doesn't have to be that deep, but you can at least just drop it in there.
Right.
Or if you do have the stand and you want to keep it more organized, you can put it in there. And those are things that can
Can
be
you put
done.
a stand in later?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of things that are aftermarket.
Okay.
There's a couple of companies. Obviously, you can look at some options at at the Container Store. Uh,
Okay.
so they have those metal racks that you can put on the bottom of a drawer or a cabinet
Oh,
for lids.
and you screw them
Uh, yeah, you just screw
in?
it in, and you can screw it. You can keep it in a cabinet or a drawer,
Okay. Nice.
and yeah, but there's another company. If you are like, if you do have a small cabinet, so a lot of people, especially in smaller, end up with like this weird 9 or 12-inch cabinet that are usually not very
Yes.
functional. That's a great cabinet that you can retrofit. There's a cabinet. There's a aftermarket company. It's called Ravishelf, and they are the ones that have all those awesome rollouts and pullouts. So if you do
Fit.
have yeah. So you just need to make sure that you have the cabinet in the right size to fit those. Usually, those what we call the pantry pullouts or the spice pullouts are 9 to 12 inch for a 9 to 12 inch cabinet. If you do want to add rollouts, I usually recommend that working with a custom carpenter,
You
because
mean the kind that would roll out? Okay.
so
Okay.
this is what you can do. So one of the awesome things that Ravishelf has, and a lot of cabinets now manufacture add, is two really amazing things that I love putting into my cabinets, which are under the sink. So they actually have a caddy. So now that we're all cleaning the house all the time, I literally have my Lysol standing on the countertop.
I
Uh,
have Clorox wipes. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, the wipes are everywhere. So they actually have a little caddy that goes under the sink that you can just actually pull it out with you and take it, clean around the house, and put it back. So you have
Nice.
all your cleaning detergent, everything that you need organized. You just need to pull it out, or if you just need to use one little thing to clean out, then you can just pull it out, whatever you need from there. So I think this is a really, really, again, thinking ahead of our world changing and what we need to think about as far as cleaning. This is a great
Yeah.
thing to add. And again, it helps organize under the sink, but usually tends to be the biggest mess.
Right.
So, all right. So we have a question from Joe, unrelated to coronavirus. Which cabinet should I put my bowls and plates in? And the closest to the sink, the dishwasher, and the stove. That's a great question, Joe.
I
Uh,
think I think that's Megan.
that's Megan. Oh, hi, Megan and Joe. So that's a great question. It might don't get divorced over that. Uh, but I personally prefer to put it next to the dishwasher, and because it's easy to unload everything from the dishwasher into a cabinet close to the dishwasher. But at the same time, I'm hoping it's also located somewhere that is close to where you're serving the food. So in my case, my longest part of my countertop is where the dishwasher is, and we keep it in the cabinet right not actually above the dishwasher, but to the left of the dishwasher. We keep everything there. So, and that brings me to one of the things that exercises that we do with my clients is when we do the design, we actually map out where all your stuff is going to be. So, just like people that are moving into a new home, really excited about their new kitchen, thinking they're going to have all that space. And, you can tell me, and, I'm a serial mover. So I can tell you that I unpack everything, and probably like 2 weeks later, I'm going to move it again. And then 3 weeks, I'm going to move it again. And and this is what's going to happen also when you do a brand new kitchen that you remodeled, unless you do the mapping that we do with our clients. So we actually take under consideration everything that they have in their kitchen. So whether it's small appliances, large appliances, how often they use those appliances, dishes. Are you left-handed, Joe? Are you right-handed? If there's anyone that has any disabilities in the
Short or
house,
tall.
short or tall, absolutely, yeah. And then we decide where all this is going to put. So are we going to put the silverware all the way at the back of the kitchen, or maybe we should put it closer to where you're going to be serving if you have a dining table, or maybe if it's an island, maybe you can keep the silverware in the dining area. Where should you keep your plates? Or should they be in a cupboard above, or maybe we should put them in a big drawer on the bottom, so it's easier maybe to reach for kids, for elderly people, people with back pains. So really we do all this inventory of what can we do with the and how can map up and help you organize. So when you're done with our kitchen remodel, then all you're going to do, you know exactly where to unpack all your stuff, and you can
And
start
there's a place
enjoying
for
that.
everything.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. So we are getting close. So tell me, go ahead, Kelly. Sorry.
I was going to say, what about when you're designing kitchens? You have all these appliances. You have a coffee maker, a blender, a soda stream, a toaster. Like, do you typically design those to sit on the counter, or do you have a place for them, or how do you work those?
I love my designs very clean.
Mhm.
I don't like a lot of stuff on the countertop. But again, this is something that we talk about our clients and their lifestyle.
Mhm.
So one of my clients, they're both semi-professional chefs. So they have a lot of very small appliances, but they didn't want everything to be on the countertop. So we actually created spaces in the cabinets that are specifically going to go to those appliances. So that's why we're going through your inventory, and then it's your decision. Like maybe you like to bake a lot and you have one of those very heavy KitchenAid, and those are usually tend to be beautiful. So people do like to display those. And if you have enough countertop, that's a great spot to that. I have another client that had a $1,500 coffee machine that we had to design a whole cabinet around that coffee machine to make sure that you get it in, you get it out. They want it. So
super easy.
It's super easy, but it was in Old Town, very contemporary kitchen, but on the smaller size, and we didn't want any appliances out. So we build the cabinet around so you can get in and out, you can slide it, do whatever you want. So it really just depends. Again, this is part of the lifestyle inventory that we're doing with our client to decide what they want to, what is important to them, and what do they prefer to do. Because maybe there's some appliances, smaller appliances, maybe the kids prepare smoothies every day. So maybe keeping the smoothie machine on the counter, it's really important. Or maybe somebody that maybe makes smoothie once a week, so just putting it inside the cabinet, it's much more beneficial to keep their space more neat and organized.
What about, do you design anything into homes for, I have so many chargers, so many, and I have them all thrown into this basket, and is there any like cool product or way you work for charging things?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first one I ever did was for my friend Elisa, and that was 15 years ago. So she was way ahead of her time. And we literally just used a garage appliance. So on the wall, we actually did extra electrical outlet already built on the wall, and we put it inside the garage appliance. And because where it was located,
garage like the door, those,
yeah, just the doors. Yeah,
I thought you meant in the garage, and I was like, very confused.
Yeah. So garage appliance is literally just a door. Sometimes it's like a sliding door. Sometimes it's just a regular door that sits on the countertops between the wall cabinet and the countertop. It's usually the same depth as the wall cabinet, so it leaves you countertops in the front. So we use that type of cabinet for several options. One is for small appliances that are already plugged in and you just need to pull it out and you can use it right there on the countertop. Or if it's in an area that a little bit offset of the kitchen that you can use, or even in the same area in the kitchen, we use all the plugs in there. So again, you have all the electronics in there, and then you just close it up. And now, yeah, and another option that we do, and we use it actually in bathrooms as well, is I love to call it my urban mudroom. So we usually take a big cabinet that has 3 drawers, because again, we already decided the drawers are awesome to store everything.
Right.
And so we did it in a couple of projects, and they usually are somewhere outside of kitchen or in between the kitchen and the rest of the house. And the top drawer have built-in electrical outlets in them.
Oh, in the drawer.
In the drawer. And then you can just plug it in there, close it, and then shut the door, and that's it. But even if you really want to keep the phone on the counter, you can just keep the drawer open a little bit, but it's still charging, and it's not interrupting.
And most of them, you don't need like your headphones or your little speakers or your watch, sports watch or whatever. You don't need on the counter till you.
Correct. Yeah, and we do the same thing for bathrooms, because you don't think about it, but you have your hair dryer, and now we have the electrical toothbrush and electrical razor. And again, bathrooms, you don't even have that much room on the countertop. So we just put them inside, and all this is gone, and suddenly your countertop has so much.
A plug like on the wall underneath behind the drawer, and then you put a power strip like in the drawer? How does that work?
So there's several companies. One of the companies, I think, there's a video somewhere on Instagram that we did, from the KBiz, from the design show when we went in January. Uh, what is their name? Oh my goodness! I think it's called the drawer, electrical drawer. Oh my God, I forgot the name. Gosh. But I will post it. So they're the one who actually invented it. It's really cool. It's just literally looks like a plug.
Mhm.
And you cut into the cabinet wherever you need it, wherever it's most of the time it's the back of the drawer.
Okay.
And it works like as an extension cord. It has a plug in the back that plugs into the wall.
It works like a power strip. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So you need to make sure that, especially in the bathroom, you make sure that it's grounded in case you do have water damage. And the fact that you can unplug it, it's also another safety feature, again, in case you have some water
Okay.
damage. Because you can find some cheaper version of that online. But again, especially if you're using it in a wet location, just make sure that it's grounded and has all the electrical default and rated for water.
But if I was gonna put that into, like, say, a drawer in my kitchen,
Uh-huh.
I would have to get another plug installed in that wall in the back of that cupboard.
Correct. Yes. Same thing in the bathroom. So you can retrofit if you have a way to get to electricity from there.
If you're remodeling if you're
But
putting,
yeah, but usually it's something that you'll do when you are remodeling, because otherwise you're gonna have to, unless you know how to go through walls and stuff like that. Yeah, that's definitely something that to think about when you are doing a remodeling. And yeah, my husband is chiming in. Yeah, he's all about cleanliness, so he absolutely loves that we have that all our outlets in our bathroom, in the drawers, that there's really, other than our antibacterial hand soap, there is nothing on the countertop, and it keeps it clean and organized. So,
yes, right.
Kelly, tell us a little bit more about where can we find you, um,
Um,
and
so you can find me. Just Google me. No, Kelly Roth, Real Estate Virginia. I'm with Pearson Smith Realty. I should pop up. I also do the Properties and Pints show, so you can contact me.
you can watch it on YouTube, Facebook. Where is it posted?
It's on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. We're also
Okay.
on YouTube, but we just put them there for no real reason. They're there, so that
Okay.
page it's nice. Look for us on Facebook. It's better.
All right.
Yes. So yeah, and I'm always happy to just even answer questions. I do lots of, like, what's COVID gonna do to the market? What do you think? And
Right.
I, because of I'm my age, I'm 50. What am I? 56 now. The
That's right. You did your 55 awesome things. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you go and find Kelly's blog.
Yes, I have a blog. 55
Awesome.
Firsts, it's called.
Yes.
But so a lot of people my age are like kind of thinking, I want to redo my master bath or do this to my house, but I know I'll be selling in the next, up to, a couple years. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I don't want to price myself out of where I am. So happy to answer any questions like that. And of course, when I get questions that are like, what color should I paint if I'm going to sell? I usually call Anna and say, what color is the color of the year or whatever. But so anyway, love to talk all kinds of real estate, pricing, futures, how to get ready to sell, whatever you want to do. Buying. I love first time home buyers because they're adorable. So
All right. So Property and Pines, and then we will post all Kelly's contact information if you have any questions. And any last minute questions? If not, we're going to sign off here. Thank you so much for joining us again today at Design Tips and Sips. Cheers, Kelly.
cheers.
Another awesome show and another day. Can we do that Tip again. Oh, there you go. Yeah, oh, I went too far. There you go. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel at, again, Design Tips and Sips. If you have any questions, you feel free to email me or Kelly or both of us, and we're happy to answer any design and real estate questions that you have. And stay safe. Bye, everybody.